The families of the three people stabbed to death in Nottingham last June have met the Prime Minister to call for a wide-ranging public inquiry. The parents and relatives of Barnaby Webber, Grace O'Malley Cooper and Ian Coates also met the Labour leader, the Home Secretary and the Justice Secretary in Westminster. Meanwhile, Leicestershire Police has referred itself to the police watchdog over the assaults allegedly committed by Valdo Calcaney just weeks before the killings. Here's Sky's Midlands correspondent Becky Cottrell and warning that her report contains some flash photography.
Barnaby, Grace and Ian. Their faces are now known to so many because of the way they were killed. It means their families have had to grieve very publicly, and now they're demanding answers. Meeting with the Prime Minister, Cabinet Secretaries as well as Keir Starmer. Barnaby and Grace were walking home from a night out when they were attacked by this man, Valdo Calcaney, a paranoid schizophrenic who stabbed the students to death before knifing school caretaker Ian Coates. Calcaney said voices in his head told him to do it, but why was he free to kill despite an outstanding arrest warrant, a history of assaults and multiple stays in a psychiatric hospital? There will now be a special review of the NHS trust that treated him. But the families of Calcaney's victims want more. The Prime Minister told them he wouldn't be launching a public inquiry, but hasn't ruled one out.
We did get an assurance from the Prime Minister himself that if it's required, they're not ruling out a public inquiry, and they will do a public inquiry. And if what they're trying to do at the moment doesn't give the answers we need, then they'll go on and do what we believe in.
We're looking at failings. Our children were failed.
Competencies.
Incompetencies. Samples were not taken whilst we were told that they were taken, or things were done and we were assured that they were done, but they weren't done.
The families are willing to be patient for now, but they will need answers, not least, they say, to their request for the Attorney General to review Calcaney's sentence. Their fear is that he could one day be released from the psychiatric facility he's being kept in back into the community. The man they describe as a monster had a history of not taking his medication. He thought he was being controlled by MI5 and mental health services, who are now under scrutiny. In a statement, Nottinghamshire Healthcare said, "We welcome external inspections as they are important to helping us learn and continually improve our services, giving us independent insight to highlight areas for development so that the experience for those who use our services is improved. We look forward to working with the Care Quality Commission and NHS England, and we undertake to swiftly implement any recommendations." Recommendations that will, of course, come too late to save Emma and David Webber's son.
Our lives have been shattered. It's a catastrophic, life-changing event. And how do you even begin to unpick and find your way forward, especially when it's so high profile, when you can't look at newspapers or the news for weeks because your son is on the front. And horrible stories coming out about the perpetrator and just the viciousness, and it's so difficult.
Nothing can ever bring back Barney, Grace or Ian, but accountability is vital to bring some kind of closure to those who love them so much. Becky Cottrell, Sky News.